Werewolf Santa is a 2023 Christmas horror film that was directed by Airell Anthony Hayles, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is free on Tubi, and this is basically a typical werewolf movie that takes place on Christmas. And I would consider this partially a found footage film. At least it feels that way throughout a lot of it. It would like I wouldn't necessarily classify it as found footage, but because it does involve a guy holding a camera for most of it and following this girl around, it definitely gives that found footage feel, and it plays out with that found footage feel, like a lot of distortion and running through different clips and stuff like that. So I definitely got that found footage vibe throughout. This film is a lot of fun. I will give it that. What we have going on here basically is we have this woman named Lucy, and she works with this guy, kind of blanking on his name now. It starts with a D or something like that. But they try to run this show. It's like a YouTube show, and they're trying to spot werewolves, or they're trying to spot, I don't know if it's all kinds of paranormal stuff, but they're definitely looking and they're on the hunt for werewolves. And their show is tanking, like they're not doing a good job with it whatsoever, until of course they run into Santa Claus on Christmas Eve, and Santa Claus is attacked by a werewolf, and then they start to chase down Santa, who's now Werewolf Santa, and try to gain footage and get a sighting kind of thing on this new Werewolf Santa. This movie is not long at all. Without credits, this thing clocks in at an hour and 6 minutes. It doesn't overstay its welcome by any means. It's silly and stupid as hell, but I cannot... I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a good time with this film. This film is so much fun. Most of it, and it's fun when it wants to be. There's certain moments here and there, especially at the beginning of the film when we're starting to be introduced to characters, that it does drag a little bit. But when it decides to go balls to the wall, it certainly does. The werewolf looks fine. Werewolf Santa, I mean. He looks okay. They designed him to, look werewolfy enough, kind of like the Lon Chaney Jr. style werewolf dressed in a Santa costume. And this film just plays out so weird and dumb in the sense where this woman Lucy, like when all these things start to happen, all this werewolf shit, like her and the camera guy and everybody else that's introduced, they're hunting the werewolf as if they were like expecting it already. Like they're not surprised, they're not shocked about anything. Like they're not even shocked when they see Santa Claus. He pops up in a forest on his sled, and they're just like, oh, Santa's here. Okay, get the camera out. We're going to record. And everything is so nonchalant. And then the werewolf comes, and Santa turns. And then they're like, okay, now we got to go find Werewolf Santa. We got to chase him down, see where it's at. It's not like, oh my God, I just saw Santa Claus. He actually exists. Oh my God, werewolves exist? Like, there's none of that. There's none of that at all. So it seems like we're living in a universe where... like they're expecting to find Santa Claus and werewolves all just it's like finding, I don't know, a bear or something. I don't know. It's really played out silly like that, but it is fun, and I liked the whole like holding the camera thing where it felt like a found footage film. I did like that aspect. Very low budget, very independent, but like I said, very short as well, and it's just goofy fun. They do some inserts throughout the film where it feels like a comic book. Like they'll have like explanation cards that'll pop up on screen. They're like yellow and black, like a Batman comic kind of thing. I didn't care for that a whole lot. The characters, they're just meh. There's nobody that really stood out in my opinion, other than Werewolf Santa, obviously. And this film it's strangely directed. Like the plot doesn't always make a lot of sense because it's just kind of things happening. They'll go from a park, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, oh, I think Santa's going to this house, and then they'll go into the house, and Werewolf Santa will go down the chimney, and then they'll get attacked, and then all of a sudden they'll be in some other location, and you don't know how the fuck they got there, and they just bounce around through locations a lot, and characters come in and out, and it gets confusing, it gets convoluted. It distracts you, I can't say it doesn't, but it's not something that matters a whole lot, because we're dealing with a film about a werewolf Santa, so that's all that matters. All you really care about is seeing Werewolf Santa fuck shit up, and he does, and it's fun that way. And like I said, not a long film, free on Tubi. This is one that I would watch again, and I would love to own if I could find a physical media copy of it. If there is a physical media copy of it, I'm a physical media whore, so I think everybody who watches the channel knows that by now. But yeah, it's worth seeing, I think. It's not great, it's not a fantastic film, but like I said, it's fun as shit, and there's worse. I gave this one a 2 out of 5. So it was lots of fun, doesn't overstay its welcome, and Werewolf Santa kind of kicks ass. So yeah, it's a good Christmas watch. I enjoyed watching it. I'm glad I watched it, and like I said, on Tubi, so you can go check it out for yourself and make up your own mind on what you think of it. So check it out if it sounds up your alley, and subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.